Ethan stared at the massive ship floating in space. It was not like anything he had ever seen. Its surface shimmered like a pearl under the distant star's light. The ship belonged to the Xylar Empire, one of the most powerful alien civilizations in the galaxy. Humans rarely visited their territory, and Ethan knew he was lucky to even be here. "Ethan, are you ready?" said Commander Rahl, the leader of their mission. His voice was calm, but his eyes showed a hint of worry. Humans were curious, but the Xylar were known for their strict rules and pride. A single wrong word could ruin everything. Ethan straightened his jacket and nodded. "I'm ready," he said, trying to sound confident. Inside, however, his heart was pounding. He had trained for years for diplomatic missions like this, but nothing could prepare him for meeting the alien queen herself. The ship's docking bay was enormous. Strange lights glowed on the walls, and smooth, metallic floors reflected every movement. Xylar guards, tall and elegant, with skin that shone like bronze, watched every human step. Ethan felt their eyes like tiny lasers burning into his back. "Remember," Commander Rahl whispered, "do not speak unless spoken to. Follow the protocol exactly. One mistake, and the Queen may ban us from her planet forever." Ethan nodded again. He felt the weight of responsibility. Humans had been underestimated for centuries. If he made a mistake here, the Xylar would dismiss them forever. The group of humans was led down a long corridor, decorated with glowing symbols. At the end of the corridor, there was a massive door. It opened silently, revealing the throne room. The room was more beautiful than anything Ethan had imagined. Crystal chandeliers floated in the air, casting rainbows across the walls. The floor was polished black, reflecting the room like water. And at the far end, sitting on a throne that seemed carved from starlight itself, was Queen Lysera. She was stunning. Ethan froze. Her skin was pale blue with a soft glow. Her eyes were silver and seemed to see right through him. And her hair floated as if underwater. She wore a gown that shimmered like liquid metal. She looked nothing like a human. Yet everything about her was beautiful. The humans stopped at the center of the room. Ethan instinctively straightened his posture, trying to show respect. The Queen's eyes fixed on him. It was as if time slowed down. He could hear his own heartbeat in his ears. "Why are you looking at me, human?" Lysera's voice was calm, but it carried power. Her gaze made Ethan feel both small and completely exposed. Ethan swallowed. He knew the proper answer might be something diplomatic, something safe and careful. But the words that came out of his mouth were simple, honest, and dangerous. "Because you're gorgeous," he said. There was a long silence. The room went completely quiet. Even the guards seemed frozen. Ethan immediately regretted his words. Humans were supposed to be polite, reserved. Admiring a queen openly was considered disrespectful in Xylar culture, or so he had been warned. Then, something unexpected happened. The queen's lips curved into a small, almost imperceptible smile. She said, her voice calm. "You are unusual." Ethan's face turned red. He wanted to sink into the floor, but the queen did not look angry. Instead, there was a spark of curiosity in her eyes. "Tell me, human," she continued. "Have you ever met someone more powerful than yourself?" Ethan hesitated. I have met many people stronger than me," he said carefully. "But I have never met someone like you." Lysera tilted her head, studying him. She seemed to enjoy his honesty. Most aliens would have spoken carefully, hiding their feelings. But Ethan's human boldness was unusual. It was refreshing. "Very well," she said finally. "Come closer." Ethan's heart jumped. He wasn't sure if he had heard correctly. "Yes. I wish to study you." Lysera said simply. Humans are interesting. Your species is young, yet bold. You have courage in places where many older civilizations fail. Ethan swallowed again and stepped forward. Each step felt heavy, yet thrilling. He was in the presence of a being more advanced than anything humanity had ever known, and she wanted to see him, up close. As he approached the throne, he noticed the intricate details of her gown and the way light reflected from the throne. It was as if the room itself was alive, watching them. You do not fear me? Lysera asked. I am cautious, Ethan admitted, but not afraid. She raised an eyebrow, as if impressed. Many humans would tremble. Yet you speak openly. Tell me, why? Ethan hesitated. He wanted to answer honestly, but he also wanted to choose his words carefully. Finally, he said, because humans speak with their hearts. We do not always hide our thoughts. I admire what I see. Lysera leaned back slightly, her expression thoughtful. Interesting, she said. Perhaps I underestimated your species. The court around them murmured quietly. Some Xylar were shocked, others curious. Humans had always been considered weak, fragile. But here was one standing boldly before their queen, speaking without fear. The queen waved a hand, and the guards relaxed slightly. Let this human remain here, she said. I wish to observe him. He may be more useful than I thought. Ethan blinked. Useful? He asked, unsure if he should feel proud or scared. Yes, Lysera said, her gaze piercing him. The galaxy is changing. Strength comes in many forms, and humans may surprise us all. Oded. For the first time in his life, Ethan felt a mix of fear and excitement. He had come as a diplomat, a visitor, yet here he was, singled out by the most powerful being he had ever met, and she had not rejected him. As the audience ended, Ethan was led to a separate chamber. There, he could rest and prepare for the next day. Yet, he could not stop thinking about the queen. Her gaze, her words, the small smile. It haunted him, in the best way. He knew one thing for certain. His life had just changed forever. Humans had been underestimated in this galaxy for too long. And perhaps, just perhaps, his honesty and courage could change that. And somewhere deep inside, he felt a small thrill at the thought that the queen herself might be curious about a human. The first encounter had ended, but the adventure was only beginning.